Welcome back, it's me, Lou. I'm here for another action figure unboxing and review, and today we are featuring this. This is Masters of the Universe Jitsu, the evil master of martial arts. Even though it's only 2021 now, this is new for next year, so it's new for 2022. And like all the Origins figures, modern posing, retro play. Really excited to check out this figure. I bought it maybe like 2 weeks ago at one of my local Targets. It's just now that I'm getting around to opening it. It's been busy lately with the holidays and like Thanksgiving and stuff. So I haven't had time to sit down and film some review videos. But today I'm gonna set aside some time and maybe go through hopefully 8 different toy videos that I need to shoot. But for now we're gonna take a look at this. This is Jitsu. I was surprised when I saw this on the shelves. It's not very often that I see new Origins figures at Target. I always see them at Walmart first. But one of my local Targets had this assortment, and I had to get them. I was fortunate enough that I got the Sorceress, which I reviewed. So be on the lookout for that video if it's not up already. I passed up on Stratos. This, as I said before, this Stratos kind of weirds me out. He looks very naked, and I just preferred the plain gray Stratos. Unfortunately, I didn't see Buzz Off, and that's a figure I do want. So, fingers crossed. Hopefully, I'll find him soon. So yeah, here's Jitsu. He looks great. He looks awesome. The first thing that crossed my mind when I saw the figure is that he is very, very tan. This figure is he's almost red. It's crazy. On the back, really cool illustration. We have Skeletor, Jitsu, Man at Arms. Dude, Cyclone. Is that right? Cyclone? I think that's Cyclone. I think. Right, ever searching for an opponent who can match him in combat, Jitsu channels dark energies to enhance his fighting power. So in terms of play features, you can put the sword in his hand, and he twists into powerful battle positions. So I don't know if this guy features anything like spring-loaded features or anything, or if he's just a straight up this plain basic figure. We'll find out in a second. All right, let's get this guy. All right, so we have the comic book, and we have Jitsu. I say this all the time. The comic books are awesome. I'm lazy. I haven't read any of them yet. And I'll say this time and time again. It's ironic because I'm a big comic book reader and collector to begin with, but for some odd reason I can't be bothered to read these tiny mini comics. I don't know. Maybe in the future we'll do a sit down and just read a bunch of them. Let's just comb through it real quick. Okay, so it's pretty neat. Sorceress, Buzz Off, Stratos. For Eternia, for Avion. All right. Okay, we also get the small little one-page instructions. What kind of tells you what parts you could take off. So you get detach him from the head, the arms, the waist, and the boots. And as I've stated earlier in other videos, that if you want to brave it, you could dip the lower torso into hot water, and then that'll soften up the thighs, and you can remove the legs from the actual crotch piece. But just be careful, you don't want to accidentally scald yourself. Okay, first impressions of Jitsu. He is very tan. He's very tan. He has a very thick beard. He has that crazy horseshoe receding hairline with that man bun on top. So I've never had Jitsu as a child. I didn't have the original one, so I was kind of excited to get this because it's a character I never had to begin with. This figure wasn't really on my radar either, but when I saw him in the stores, I couldn't say no. I mean, his armor is really cool. This gold fist here just like screams at you. You know, if you're like a big MCU fan, you know, you can easily just, you know, paint the Infinity Stones on here, and then all of a sudden you have the Infinity Gauntlet. But I don't know. He looks wild. I love the body armor too. Like for me, looking at this, there's a lot of even if you're not into the Jitsu figure, the pieces here lend itself well for like a custom. Especially getting the different colored flesh tone, not only in the arms but also in the legs. You have the different colored crotch piece and then the body armor too. So if you want to experiment and make fun customs with this guy, I think you know the opportunities and the potential for unique and cool characters is really high. All right, here's his little sword. Let's take this out. I don't know why they wrap these things up in plastic, to be honest. It seems... I'm just saying that because I have a hard time trying to take these things out because I'm an idiot. Alright, let's get Jitsu out of the tray. Okay, I just bumped into like one of my Lego minifigs right now. Let me fix this real quick. And if you're curious what's like at my review table where I do all these video reviews, it's actually this is on my drafting table where I used to draw comic books, because I used to draw comic books back in the day. And it's just surrounded by toys. I have all sorts of wacky stuff. I have like brick heads. This is a custom brick head. This is like a Batman one I made. An official Thanos one. A custom RoboCop. I have an Age of Apocalypse Magneto, which I'm going to use for a future video review. G.I. Joe Barbecue, which I'm going to use as a reference figure for a future video review. I have all those crazy Avenger Mech Strike figures I'm always gaga about. So my review table is just covered with like toys right now, and it's a mess. And it's so easy for me to just bump into other things. Like, where is it? Yeah, so this is my custom... it's not even a custom. I didn't custom build this, but this is something I bought. It's a custom printed Lego minifig that has the Fallout jumpsuit from the vault. It's like the vault armor. And then I made a small little Fallout diorama. Let me see if I can pull that out. So this is on my review desk also. I made a small little Fallout diorama with some custom printed pieces like the Nuka-Cola, the Vault Tech calendar. I made my own little Vault droid. And then here's like there was another company that made like custom Halo helmets. So here's a little custom Master Chief figure I have. Yeah, so my review space is just cluttered with like toys. And it's so easy for me during my review to bump into other things. So yeah, you know, I'm pretty hardcore about my toys, and so they're everywhere. Okay, back to... Alright, these guys can hang out. They can hang out and watch the video review. Alright. So, we have Jitsu here. Great figure. So, like I said, he's very, very tan. And one thing I'm noticing... I'm not sure if the camera's going to catch this, but his head flesh tone is a lot richer and more glossy than his flesh tone on his arms and body. So when I'm talking tan, this guy is like red orange. It's almost kind of like when Hulk Hogan gets like super tanned up. It's like that. It's a great figure. The body, if you've handled an Origins figure before, they all feel kind of the same. The one stark difference is that on his right arm, you get this crazy glove. You know, it's like I said, this feels like it could be like, you know, an Infinity Gauntlet or something. It's made of, I'm not sure if it's colored or what, but it's that weird like electric kind of like gold color. And I'm not sure if over time, if this is gonna like rub off or wear, you know, much like the toys we got in the 80s with this kind of like finish. But it looks really sharp on this guy. This guy doesn't have any play features. It'd be nice if he was spring loaded, but I can understand why, you know, they wouldn't. You know, it only makes sense. You know, martial artist guy. It'd be cool if he actually had like some sort of like chopping feature. You know, or he could spring-loaded waist. But you don't get anything. You know, this guy, as the box stated, his only play feature is he put the sword in his hand, and that's pretty much it. But he does come with this nifty glove. I'm not sure if it's detachable. I don't want to try forcing it off. I'm sure if you check around YouTube, there's probably some YouTuber who braved it and unplugged the arm. I don't think the instructions say anything about being able to remove the arm or the glove from the actual arm. So just err on the side of caution. You don't want to accidentally break your toy. The body armor, you can remove it. You know, it's clasped here and here, so it's much like Fisto's armor, I believe. It's that softer plastic. See if I could take it off. It's kind of tight. I don't want to rip the tab, so there we go. Yeah, so his body armor does, you could remove it. As you can see, he's very buff. Probably South Beach diet. All keto, no gluten, no carbs. Much like the rest of the Eternia, every man is like buff and ripped. And I can't get this back on. Alright. Let me see if I can get this back on. It's a tight fit. Let's wait. Oh, this thing's a pain in the butt to... So the hard thing with stuff like this is that I'm always afraid I'm going to rip the tab that holds it in place, because it's not an easy, it doesn't plug in as easy as I'd like. It's a very, very tight fit. It's almost like the tolerance is too tight. It's like they don't leave any room for error or any gappiness, which is nice because you don't want this thing floating around on his body, but at the same time you don't want it to be a pain in the butt to like put on, which it is right now. And of course my OCD is going to go crazy because I can't get these to match up and line up perfectly, but I'll just have to live with it. Fit on there. Alright, so there, I got it back on. Okay, cool. So in terms of articulation, it's the standard fare you expect from Origins. You know, the ball jointed head rotates. Arms rotate, they go out. You know, he has elbow bend on both arms, elbow swivel, wrist articulation on his left hand. Unfortunately, his right hand, it's kind of stupid, but at the same time it'd be pointless, I guess. There is no wrist articulation on his right hand, but there is it does swivel towards near the elbow. So you do get this. So I guess it'd be pointless if you had wrist articulation, because you already got this going on. With a hand this big, I think it would have been cool if they incorporated maybe like articulated fingers, or even just like an articulated palm, so maybe it could close in on itself to make a fist. Or it would have been nice too if they gave us swappable hands, like instead of this the opened up hand like this, if he had an actual fist hand they could swap out. Because I mean they do have hand swaps, like, you know, for example, you know, Trapjaw has a different hands you could plug in. Swivel at the waist, kick up, kick out, boots, ankle, the average fare. So yeah, the detail's nice. The hair sculpting's really well done on his man bun, as you can see here. Nice sculpting detail on the hair. The beard's nice. You want to make sure the paint application you get on the teeth is okay, because it seems like it'd be easy to get one where the teeth are messed up or colored in because of the beard. His face almost looks dog-like. He almost looks like a mutt. The paint application's alright. The armor's pretty cool. I dig the gold and the orange. I like this crotch piece here. For some reason, when I see the black belt and the orange, I don't know, fur or whatever it is, it kind of looks like, if you wanted to, you could make that. Is it Thundar? Is that the character I'm thinking of? I think it's a Hanna-Barbera barbarian. I think it's Thundar. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, but because I get my barbarians confused because there's so many of them. But it seems like if you removed the chest piece, and if you got another one of these and gave this guy 2 normal forearms, it seems like you'd be able to make some cool, like, very tan, buff barbarian characters. And for some reason, Thundar crossed my mind. And I'm not sure if Thundar is the right barbarian I'm referencing. Okay, let's take a look at, and now, like, when I see this guy's very, you know, bronzed or tanned in terms of his complexion. Like, I never had the original one, so I don't know how dark that color was. But as a point of reference, here's He-Man. So as you can see, this guy's considerably a lot richer and bolder in his flesh tone. And here's the Roddy Piper figure from the WWE line. And this is some figures that have a much more paler flesh tone, so you can kind of see the differences. So yeah, you know, we have a light flesh tone, medium, and then this guy's really, really rich, very bold, vibrant flesh tone. So I'm not sure if, like, you know, this is Jitsu, so he's supposed to be the evil master of, like, the martial arts. I'm not sure if that implies that this character is, like, you know, more Eastern or, like, Asian in appearance or in origin, especially when you look at his eyes and his flesh tone is as dark as it is. But, you know, we're talking about Eternia. I don't know how things are there. Like, I don't know if this guy's supposed to have more, like, Asian-like features, even though his eyes kind of say so. But his flesh tone is really, really bronzed, which I don't have a problem with. I think it looks kind of neat. So, let's talk about numbers. How do I rate this guy? I'm going to say a 7.5 to an 8. Mostly because, not that he's a bad figure. It's a great figure, but there's a part of me that feels like, now this is my inner child speaking, you can't call a character like the master of the martial arts and give him this big, crazy hand and not give it some sort of weird play feature. Like, for some oddball reason, when I see this guy, I just want to, like, lift his arm up and have it, like, you know, chopped down. So, I understand why it doesn't have it, but I don't even know if the original one had it. But for some reason, I just wish this guy had, like, a spring-loaded arm. I think I'm kind of spoiled because some of the G.I. Joe figures I've been reviewing, like the G.I. Joe Origins figures, the budget ones, those have, like, spring-loaded waists. And I kind of dig that. I like, you know, figures that kind of have that weird play feature. So when I see this guy, my first thought is, oh, cool. He could, like, do a cool karate chop. And then, you know, I'm going to raise his arm up and have it swing down. But it doesn't do anything. But that's the nature of this toy and this toy line in general. It'd been cool if they gave him a play feature, but, you know, that's not the case in this line. So, I mean, that's the only thing that's, you know, I'm kind of wishing he had, is that he had some sort of fun play feature like that. But it's a great figure nonetheless. It looks like Jitsu. Very, very detailed armor. I love this crazy, you know, gauntlet he has on here, and he has this cool sword. So yeah, 7.5 to an 8. Do you need them? Well, if you're an hardcore Origins fan and you need to fill out your collection, definitely. If you're one of the more casual fans and you're more about, you know, just the, you know, the iconic characters that you always associate He-Man with, you know, like He-Man, Skeletor, Man-at-Arms, Beast-Man, you know, maybe not, but Jitsu is cool. He represents, you know, that fringe of characters that are very unique and have, just like all Masters of the Universe characters, they have a very unique gimmick. You know, this guy is the master of the martial arts, and he has a really cool look. So yeah, I mean, if you see him out on the shelves, I think it's worth picking up. I don't think you'll be disappointed. It's a very unique character, and I don't know, he looks awesome. Alright, so let's wrap this video up. Once again, my name is Lou. Thank you so much for checking out this video. If you are new to my channel, welcome. If you are a returning viewer or subscriber, thank you so much for your likes, comments, and support. I greatly appreciate it. So until the next video, be safe, take care of yourself, most importantly, be happy, and I will see you at the next video. Alright guys, let's say goodbye. Alright, talk to you later.